Soul Land Episode 191 Original Novel DouLuo DaLu. Chapter 224. 100,000 Years, Tang San's Seventh Spirit Ring. TL by Bagelson. Bo Sixi managed to pull back her right hand. Her heart twitched uncontrollably a few times. Turning around, she looked towards the Sea God's Hall at the peak of the towering mountain, talking to herself in a peculiar tone of voice. He succeeded. A red silhouette soared up, and nobody saw, at the corners of Bo Sixi's eyes, currently fell a tear as sparkling and translucent as a pearl. None of the Shrek Seven Devils disturbed Tang San, and Tang San also sat there cross-legged and motionless, as if he'd turned into an ancient fossil. And the current Tang San was awash in blood, his whole body like a blood-red sculpture. Dai Mubai, Oscar, Ma Hung Jun, Zhu Zuqing, Ning Rongrong, the five of their gazes brightened one by one. The sight of Tang San enduring the god-bestowing spirit ring process had infected each of them. Nobody even spoke. Ning Rongrong pulled Xiao Wu's hand, and the six of them together walked over to the stairs to the Sea God's Hall, climbing directly to the 25th step and sitting down. Tang San had already broken through his limits, so where were their limits? Even Bai Chenxiang directly walked to the 10th step and sat down. At the foot of the sacred mountain, everything returned to serenity. 6 people cultivating ceaselessly, Xiao Wu passively enduring the pressure, as well as the blood-red statue, the motionless Tang San. Tang San sat like this for a full 100 days. As he was absolutely motionless for 1 month, the scarlet blood had also turned violet-black, forming a stiff scab on the surface of his skin. If not for sensing his faint but steady heartbeat, as well as what Sea God DouLuo Bo Sixi said before leaving, perhaps everyone would have believed Tang San had become an eternal sculpture. 100 days, 100 days without motion. As the final day arrived, tearing and smashing sounds roused everyone from their cultivation. One crack after another began to form on the stiff scab around over Tang San. This was the source of the sounds. 7 silhouettes flew up. At just this moment, they had no thoughts for cultivation. After 100 days of strenuous waiting, the person they waited for had finally come. More and more shattered. Gradually, that dark purple scab began to fall off in pieces, exposing skin faintly flickering with blue-golden radiance within. Startling everyone somewhat was that, as all of it fell off, even Tang San's hair fell off along with the scabs coagulated around it. A soft groan echoed, and Tang San's already naked skin began to shine with a faint blue-golden color. Immediately afterward, the blue-golden color grew more and more distinct, light radiating out, each blue-golden ray seemed to expel the filth on his body. With a popping sound, at this instant, time seemed to stand still, and the remaining filth on Tang San's body shot off in an instant, exposing his clothes to perfect body. Intense blue-golden splendor seemed to turn him into a second sun, enough to compare to the scorching sun in the sky. With such intense glare and violent energy fluctuations, everyone retreated one after another. Amidst that blue-golden radiance, the figure seated upright on the ground slowly rose. Both arms stretched sharply to either side, and sonorous bone-cracking sounds could be heard. That's right, sonorous, as if his whole body stretched outwards. When he had stretched to his limit, instantly, a dragon cry like long howl broke out towards the sky. The Shrek 6 devils felt their surroundings seem to turn into a blue-golden ocean along with this cry. The next moment, they were shocked to discover that the ring sea and sacred mountain had disappeared. They somehow stood in a dense great forest. And within this forest, all the plants were blue and gold. On the ground was a thick mat of softly swaying blue-silver emperor. The surrounding plants were all like cut from sapphire and bathed in golden sunshine, filled with an illusory tint. Before they could react, suddenly, the surrounding scenery changed. The original radiance and aura of boundless vitality disappeared without any warning. In its place was an extremely cold world of white mist. Countless harsh auras cruised like sharp blades in their surroundings, giving them a feeling as if their bodies might be torn asunder at any moment. Most frightening was a heartfelt shiver, the feeling of terror almost instantly giving them a feeling of being oppressed by a strange energy. Even moving just a bit was extremely difficult. If they hadn't endured the pressure of the sea god's light for a long time, the horror of this world filled with murderous intent might have driven them crazy. Fortunately, this kind of frightful feeling didn't continue for too long. Just as everyone felt their hearts about to burst, their bodies relaxed, and that aura like an azure hell instantly disappeared. Their surroundings also returned to the scenery they were familiar with. They were still at the foot of the Sea God Mountain, and before them was still that ring-shaped sea. The feeling of being liberated from great weight made each of them breathe roughly, gasping for big mouthfuls of breath, subconsciously retreating with eyes filled with overwhelming shock. On the contrary, Xiao Wu still stood there blankly, without doing anything. Without a soul, she didn't seem to have felt the frighteningly enormous pressure the others did just now. But in fact, the reason she didn't arrive at that realm of suffering before really wasn't because she had no soul. That scene just now absolutely wasn't a pure spiritual attack. The reason Xiao Wu didn't suffer any harm was mainly because her soul was within the body of the person who launched that frightening scene before. With metaphysical and physical deeply bonded to each other, naturally she wouldn't come to any harm. The blue-golden radiance gradually faded, and as everyone managed to compose themselves, they could clearly see a human figure flickering within the light. Very soon, all the light was absorbed into that person, exposing his true form. Everyone breathed a huge sigh of relief, looking at that appearing figure with weird expressions, smiles soon becoming apparent. Standing there was Tang San, his body already covered in a clean robe, hiding his body, and not ending up naked after absorbing the spirit ring like Ma Heng-jun. The flickering of his silhouette in the light before was actually him getting dressed. Only, his current appearance was even more ridiculous than Ma Heng-jun's back then. His head was glossy and smooth without a single hair, to the extent that it even reflected the sunlight. Not even his eyebrows remained. Even though he was still handsome, his deep blue eyes even more clear than before, his current bald look still made the Shrek Five Devils and Bai Chenxiang quickly recover from their previous fright. The skin Tang San currently revealed all had a dense layer of faintly golden light, but what had changed most distinctly apart from his hair and eyebrows, would be the 8 spider lances on his back. The 8 spider lances hadn't changed in size, and were still as crystalline as before, but their overall coloration had undergone a heaven and earth revolving transformation. The originally filled with frightening feeling blood red had completely turned into a hallowed golden color. Unfolding behind Tang San, they were like 8 gloriously golden arms. Golden light glinted, and faintly, a disk of golden light was set off the 8 spider lances from behind. In practice, this was already the 8 spider lances' third evolution. From getting it until Tang San killed the second man-faced demon spider and obtained Xiao Wu's 100,000-year spirit ring, then again to now. This external spirit bone not only didn't turn more sinister, but on the contrary became more and more dazzling. Little San, you, ha 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 ha. Dai Mubai was the first who couldn't help it, immediately bursting into laughter. When he started, the others couldn't hold back either. Tang San had just woken up, and his consciousness was still a bit fuzzy. What are you laughing at? Ning Rongrong giggled. Third brother, your hair and eyebrows. Oscar and Ma Heng-jun looked at each other, and they couldn't help smiling wickedly. Hair and eyebrows were gone, then the hair in other places. He he. Tang San looked distracted, immediately raising a hand to feel his scalp, then discovered the source of everyone's hilarity. Bowing his head to look at the scabs fallen all around him, he couldn't help showing a wry smile. However, right now his heart was still incomparably carefree. A refreshing feeling exuded from every pore. Basically without even using his eyes to see, all the surrounding scenery appeared like a three-dimensional image in his mind. He could even clearly sense the variations of the intensity of the sunshine in the air. That was a marvelous feeling of controlling everything. The mysterious heaven skill inner strength within his body had completely changed from white to gold, and poured through his meridians like quicksilver. As his consciousness grew clearer and clearer, even more pleasant surprises appeared constantly. It seemed his spiritual force had reached the same level as his purple demon eye. That kind of observation down to minute details could discover even the smallest changes within him. But even if he now could control everything within himself, he still didn't know just what level he had reached. Practically subconsciously, Tang San released his blue-silver emperor. Instantly, several dozen strands of clear blue-silver emperor shot out from his body. At this moment, there was no golden lines within the blue-silver emperor, but each strand was wrapped up in a faint golden light. Along with him releasing his spirit, 7 spirit rings rose in succession from below Tang San's feet, filling his surroundings. Yellow, yellow, purple, black, black, red, red. The 7 orderly spirit rings gave people an incomparably moving feeling. In that instant, Tang San only felt as if he could hear the throbbing voices of all the plants on Sea God Mountain, and each of those blue-silver emperor were like his own arms. He was confident that these blue-silver emperor could absolutely complete even the most complex motions. He hadn't endured that pain like being torn apart in vain. That scarlet red like blood spirit ring in the 7th position was the best repayment. Dai Mubai, Oscar, Ning Rongrong, Zhu Zuking, Ma Hongjun, Bai Chen Xiang, right now they had all stopped laughing. Seeing that seventh ring around Tang San, with the red of 100,000-year level, they couldn't utter a single word. If one spoke of Tang San's sixth spirit ring being of the 100,000-year level being because special circumstances led to Xiao Wu's sacrifice, then that real seventh spirit ring of his was something brought to him by his utterly fearless perseverance and incomparable will. Because of this seventh spirit ring, all the pain Tang San had suffered, the price he had paid, was absolutely even greater than absorbing a real 100,000-year spirit ring. Even with 4 spirit bones, with his current strength he still shouldn't have been able to absorb a 100,000-year spirit ring. That was an absolute gap. But he had still done it. To spirit masters, the 7th spirit ring was the most important leap, and Tang San had used a perfect 100,000-year level to continue declaring his strength. If twin spirits was an innate talent, then his 7th spirit ring was a flower blossoming from struggle. Tang San slowly raised his right hand, and that latest to appear 7th spirit ring slowly rose, drawn by his palm. It expanded as it rose, and in a flash it had turned into a blood-red barrier enveloping Tang San completely. Red light quietly permeated him, and Tang San's body instantly changed, fusing into that red light. His whole body seemed to become translucent, the surface of his skin rippling with the same clear blue luster as the blue-silver emperor, and he also had that golden light brimming with the aura of nature. It seemed as if he was now a man-shaped blue-silver emperor. This was Tang San's 7th spirit ability, Blue-Silver Avatar. With the effects of Blue-Silver Avatar, all abilities that used Blue-Silver Emperor were amplified by 100%, and any strand of Blue-Silver grass could become Tang San's true body. In other words, unless all the Blue-Silver Emperor were completely destroyed, Tang San could instantly make his body appear anywhere there was Blue-Silver Emperor within range to avoid attacks. Spreading both arms, the eyes of Tang San's Blue-Silver Avatar form abruptly turned golden. Then next instant, with him as the center, a blue-golden luster abruptly spread from his feet, enveloping 100-meter range in practically just an instant. This 100-meter range might not feel very large, but within this range, everything turned golden blue. Including the bodies of the other Shrek 7 devils. Everyone clearly felt an incomparably immense breath of life fill their surroundings, unspeakably comforting. However, they also instantly discovered that their movements began to slow, and everything around them turned so indistinct. And in this instant, the 8 spider lances behind Tang San's back blossomed with golden light, one golden ray of light after another starting to fill this golden world. The golden threads of light couldn't be dodged. Everyone just felt their bodies tighten slightly, and immediately afterward, it was as if their spirit power had found a drain, slowly flowing out along those threads of light. They wanted to break free, but those threads of light were like bone maggots, always glued to their bodies. And the threads of light draining their spirit power grew even brighter, finally converging on the 8 spider lances, then flowed into Tang San. Images of trees appeared one after another, covering Tang San's silhouette. All the plants on Sea God Mountain within range now also all turned blue-golden, dense images of trees appearing in the surroundings along with countless vines spreading out. Just at this moment, even the sunlight couldn't enter the golden blue world. The immense aura of life covered each person, and the branches of the trees grew frantically, leaves quickly spreading, and their targets were the Shrek 7 devils. In just these few eye blinks, everyone felt like they were already surrounded. A pressure like panic appeared in their hearts, coerced by this pressure, everyone released their spirits one after another. But even Fatty's red-hot phoenix flame only gave this blue-golden world a bit more golden splendor. Everyone discovered that their spirits were all suppressed by that breath of life. This is the true form of my blue-silver domain under the effect of my 7th spirit ability, Blue-Silver Avatar. It's also the blue-silver domain's 3rd evolved ability, Boundless Nature 1. Secondary effects, assimilation, suppression. Within the domain, I can change everything as I wish. The assimilation ability refers to assimilating all the surrounding plants, with the blue-silver domain burning the flames of their life for its own use. The more plants there are nearby, the stronger boundless nature is. These plants can all launch attacks as I desire. The suppression ability suppresses the attributes of your spirits by 10%, and all released spirit power will be suppressed by 10%. The longer you stay in the domain, the greater the suppression effect will be. Then what's with those golden threads extracting our spirit power? Hearing Tang San's voice echo from all around, everyone's fear immediately disappeared. Dai Mubai immediately voiced a question. Tang San's voice echoed once again. That's the automatic energy saving produced after the evolutions of the domain and 8 spider lances. Originally Boundless Nature's third ability was to gradually extract your vitality and pour it into the plants. But with the 8 spider lances joining in, it got a long-distance drain effect. Those unbreakable threads are the extension of the 8 spider lances drain ability. It will constantly draw out your spirit power and vitality. The vitality is assigned to the plants within the domain, but the spirit power is filtered through the 8 spider lances for my use. DouLuo's eyes widened. Fuck me, even filtering? Your domain ability is too abnormal. The blue light suddenly faded, the sky reappearing. Tang San still stood where he was before, and both his 8 spider lances and 7 spirit rings were already withdrawn. He had revealed his new abilities to his comrades so they could cooperate even better in the future, so they wouldn't be startled. And a spirit master revealing his spirit abilities for others to see was originally one of the most intimate shows of affection. Never mind that the other Shrek 7 devils all thought that Tang San's new abilities were abnormal, even Tang San himself felt that these abilities were frightening. Especially the ability after fusing the blue-silver domain and 8 spider lances. Long-distance drain. And it was moreover draining that ignored attacks and defenses, this was too scary. At the same time Tang San discovered that, after the 8 spider lances evolved, the original drain ability had gained an automatic filter, energy absorbed from the outside world would be filtered and merged into Tang San's body where it was needed. Like this, fighting within the blue-silver domain's latest third evolved boundless nature, the enemies would be constantly weakened, and Tang San could possess even longer battle endurance through this indefensible drain ability. Tang San vaguely felt that, along with his strength growing, the external spirit bone 8 spider lances evolved ability now showed its true appearance. That was something the other spirit bones didn't have, even the 100,000-year spirit bones. Just viewing the level of the domain, Tang San's blue-silver domain already massively surpassed the angelic domain Qianrongxu once used. The angel domain's abilities mainly strengthened herself and suppressed the opponent. That angel force could also only affect the opponent's spirit power. If the angelic domain transforming the opponent's spirit power was one effect, then Tang San's blue-silver domain's drain ability had two effects. The angelic domain harmed others without benefit to oneself, but the blue-silver domain harmed others for his benefit. The gap between them was quite large. In terms of the level of spirits, even though the blue-silver emperor could be said to be a peak existence among plant-type spirits, there was still a gap to a super spirit like the seraphim. There were two reasons Tang San's blue-silver domain effects could surpass Qianrongxu's angelic domain. One was the fusion effect of the evolved 8 spider lances with the domain. The other was because Tang San's 7th spirit ring was of the 100,000-year level. The amplification effect naturally wasn't something 10,000-year spirit rings could compare to. For this 7th spirit ring, Tang San had spent 100 days' time. But this was completely worth it. A 100,000-year spirit ring at the 7th position was already a comprehensive leap for his strength. With all the spirit bones and spirit abilities he currently possessed, he would no longer be without the strength to resist when confronting DouLuo. That was still without counting the effects of the Death God domain after it was amplified by the 7th spirit ring, as well as Tang San's 7th spirit ring having a second spirit ability due to being of the 100,000-year level. Somewhat awkwardly rubbing his bald head, Tang San asked. How long was I in a trance? By now, the others had already gathered around, and besides Xiaowu's still cavernous eyes, the others all had expressions of wonder and envy. Oscar said. You really can sleep. This time it took 100 days. You really are something. If it was us, no matter how persistent we were, our bodies still couldn't absorb the energy of that 100,000-year spirit ring. I also want a 7th spirit ring. Ah. 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 This fellow hardly concealed his envy. Tang San stared blankly a moment. What did you say? 100 days? I've been in a trance for 100 days. Seeing his comrades nod one after another, Tang San still almost didn't dare believe it. To him, it had only seemed like, after the pain, warmth had spread through his body and gradually scattered. He had awoken after just this process. But that simple process had still taken him 100 days of trance. He showed a trace of a wry smile. I didn't think it would take so long. My sea god's light. DouLuo's eyes revealed an intense disdain. You clearly just know to talk without action, isn't a 100,000-year spirit ring enough? Your new abilities are already abnormal enough. If it was me, I'd even trade it for a year's time. Speaking of, generally this kind of level-skipping spirit ring absorption will raise your spirit power. Fatty went up one rank last time, he's almost at the same level as little Ao and the others. What's your current level of spirit power? Tang San observed his body, his wry smile instantly turning to pleasant surprise. Is this all right too? It seems to have risen a lot. Ning Rongrong curiously asked. How much is a lot? Tang San said. It seems to be at 74.5 ranks. Silence, dreadful silence. As Tang San spoke, he only felt like everyone wanted to eat him. Dai Mubai said with a mournful expression. Heaven has no justice, heaven really has no justice. Me training bitterly for 3 months still can't compare to little San absorbing a spirit ring. Tang San laughed out loud, seeing the smile and frustration at the corners of Dai Mubai's eyes. Grabbing his shoulders, he said. Boss Dai, don't worry. Don't forget that you still haven't absorbed the god-bestowed spirit ring. I was just a bit lucky. Dai Mubai sighed. Little San, that really isn't a matter of luck. Only, we haven't been idle in these 3 months either. The sea god's light really is a treasure for cultivation, my spirit power is already close to 68 ranks. I estimate I should break through within 10 days. Little Ao is 64, Fatty is 64, only Fatty should be about to break through to 65. Rongrong is already 65. Zhu Zuking as well. You're right, we all have a chance for a god-bestowed spirit ring. Then we also have to work hard. To us, this is a lifetime opportunity. In this year with the sea god's light, we have to fight to reach the 70th rank. With the qualitative change of the spirit avatar, the other trials will be a lot easier. Rumble. When Dai Mubai issued his declaration with a righteous expression, Tang San's stomach made a quiet noise. Dai Mubai was speechless for a spell. The food delivered this morning is over there. You just woke up, rest for today. Too far is as bad as not enough. Let's go, we'll continue cultivating. We'll definitely pull closer the gap to Little San. After 100 days without eating, completely relying on energy to sustain himself, Tang San was ravenous. His comrades threw themselves back into training, and he gorged himself without politeness. With the strength of his internal organs, he basically didn't have to worry about any adverse effects from eating or drinking excessively. Giant Overlord Crab, delicious lobster flesh, fish roe and black bread, plus Sea God Island's special local vegetables and fruit. In one sitting he cleanly swept away the great meal for everyone for today. Only when he had finished eating did Tang San discover he had eaten everyone else's food. Fortunately he still had inventory in his 24 moonlit bridges, he could only let everyone eat rations today. By now Dai Mubai and the others had already started cultivating within the sea god's light. Tang San discovered that in 3 months' time, his comrades were by now already cultivating on the 35th step. Even Bai Chenxiang had already advanced to the 20th step. The qualitative leap in strength filled Tang San's heart with satisfaction and confidence. He quietly told himself that the distance to Xiaowu's resurrection was 1 step closer. Without excessive rest, Tang San directly threw himself into cultivation. Due to entering the realm of Spirit Avatar, he directly raised his cultivation position OT the 50th step. He was confident that he could completely cultivate at this position. Of course, before he started cultivating, he first wanted to examine how far his strength had risen, to take a look at just how many steps he had advanced along this challenging road. It was also good preparation for finally passing. After Tang San first set foot into the sea god's light, he halted, an astonished expression appearing on his face. Because he discovered that the original pressure from the sea god's light seemed to have completely disappeared. Setting foot on the first step seemed no different from outside. What was going on? Could the pressure from the sea god's light have disappeared? No, impossible. His comrades were still cultivating, that proved there was no problem with the sea god's light. With a suspicious bearing, Tang San kept climbing. Tang San climbed the whole way to the 20th step before he felt a trace of pressure, and he immediately relaxed. It wasn't that the pressure was gone, but rather that his ability to endure the pressure had leapt forward. In fact, after the ordeal of the god-bestowed spirit ring, Tang San's body had broken through the limit once again, and his ability to contend with pressure had risen in a sharp line. It was naturally very difficult for the sea god's light's close pressure to affect him. Since the pressure could be ignored, Tang San hadn't felt anything. Climbing onwards, Tang San very soon passed 50 steps. Here he discovered that this position didn't suit his cultivation, because the pressure still wasn't enough. It still couldn't give him the pressure he felt where he cultivated before breaking through the 70th rank. Without releasing the two great domains, had his body having just recovered, Tang San still had to hold back on this climb. He had after all just recovered, and he couldn't attack his limit in one go. With the backing of the two great domains, his retreat would be a lot easier. Continuing to climb upwards, very soon Tang San reached his previous climbing limit, standing on the 80th step. Arriving here he could again feel that omnipresent squeezing pressure. Drawing a deep breath, Tang San advanced. When he had climbed all the way to the 100th step, his pace forward slowed somewhat. Tang San discovered that after climbing 100 steps, the pressure clearly rose a level. It was like his own qualitative leap of strength. Coming here, the sea god's light pressure also made a qualitative leap. This discovery made him realize that the greatest difficulty of Daimyo Bai and the others' black level trials might be the last 8 steps. Absolutely don't look down on these last few steps. Due to the qualitative leap in pressure, each step would require investing a far higher price than the previous steps. Even more, in the previous climb, they would be bound to have consumed a lot of spirit power. Under the steep rise in pressure, completing this last climb really wasn't an easy matter. Steadily continuing climbing upwards, his body's powerful ability to resist pressure gradually appeared. The trident brand on Tang San's forehead released brilliant golden light, and with each step forward, he felt the joy of conquering within his heart. 108. The step required to pass the black level trials very soon lay below Tang San's feet. In fact, right now Tang San wasn't just a common spirit sage. With 4 great spirit bones and 200,000-year spirit rings, the power of his physique already surpassed that of ordinary title DouLuo. Even so, after he reached the 108th step, he also clearly felt the weight of his body, and each step further became a challenge. Drawing a cold breath, Tang San looked up. Under the influence of the golden mist surrounding his body, the scenery beyond was a bit hazy. His standard for passing wasn't just 108, but rather 333. With his present circumstances, starting with the 2 great domains released from the very beginning, the highest level he could climb might not surpass 150 steps, not even half the distance to pass the trial. Could he really reach the 333rd step and pass even with his comrades' support abilities? A major question mark appeared in Tang San's heart. There was already less than half a year left. Even though cultivating in the sea god's light was a lot faster than outside, Tang San still wasn't arrogant enough to believe he could make another qualitative leap in that time. It seemed that in order to pass his first trial, overcome, twofold, sea god's light, absolutely wouldn't be easy. He still had an even longer road to walk. Without climbing further, the surrounding immense pressure already forced the spirit power within Tang San's body to move with unprecedented speed. He still needed time to put his just recently recovered body in order, and Tang San absolutely wouldn't spoil things on impulse. He still didn't open his domains, but slowly retreated from the 108th step. When he had retreated to 80 steps, he halted, hesitating slightly. According to the previous feeling of cultivation in the pressure, the 70th step seemed quite suitable for his present cultivation. But Tang San clearly understood that, cultivating there, he couldn't advance his resistance ability enough to pass the sea god's first trial in half a year. Taking advantage of still having a lot of spirit power remaining, fiercely clenching his teeth, Tang San sat down on the 80th step. One boundless nature, more precisely the limitless connections of all manifestations of nature. It ends here. Likes, subscribes, shares and comments. Free hug. Bye.